Welcome back to Sly Guy TV, and you're watching the Sly Guy, Kaboom, Kaboom, and Super Kaboom, oh yeah! Kaboom, oh yeah, Kaboom, oh yeah! Here we go! There's no fighting, guys, no fighting! It's the ball! Lightning will burn you through, and it will damage you all through and through. And the lightning bolt will finish off the game. The lightning bolt it will. I have offended you again. So I guess this is the end, because everybody knows you're such a snowflake and you're just quite upset at every single thing we said. Everybody knows it's all just in your head. Wasted, feeling, going, speaking. You know why you've crossed the line when I said that you were mine. Going skiing, no hard feelings, since you will not be my girl. This is the end of my own world. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Sly Guy TV, our pilot episode of our new YouTube channel, Sly Guy TV, where we'll be featuring nothing but Magic the Gathering, Arena, as well as old school and legacy Magic. I wanted to say modern, but most of my decks are legacy decks now because I added Swords to Plowshares, I added Chain Lightning, so these are officially legacy decks, but the cards all have the modern card frame. So I guess we could call it modern legacy, because that would be where it actually qualifies or classifies as. So, a little background about myself, okay? The reason why I call myself a Sly Guy is because way back in the 1990s, there was this person known as Paul Sligh who invented the mono red mana curve deck, or the Sly deck. The Sly deck used the mana curve, which means that you'll be able to use up all your mana, all the mana that you have in succeeding turns. You will cast a 1-cost spell on turn 1, a 2-cost spell on turn 2, a 3-cost spell in turn 3, 4-cost on turn 4. Now, you'd rarely get cards that cost more than 4 mana in burn decks. But if your burn deck used pyrotechnics, then that would definitely count towards the 5 mana slot. But normally, okay, you do not want to have more than 1 or 2 5-mana spells. The highest that you'd go is 4 mana. That's as high as you go for a Sly deck. But in this case, this burn deck would only go as high as 3 mana, because Ball Lightning would be the most expensive spell in the deck. Now, Ball Lightning, of course, a 6/1 Trampler, which would edge out and destroy your opponents, as it would launch, and it would have haste and trample. Haste wasn't a thing before. It was unaffected by summoning sickness, because back then the term for not creatures coming into play and not being able to attack was summoning sickness, because when you summon them, they'd be sick, they couldn't attack first. So cards like Ball Lightning changed that. They had haste, they could attack the turn they come into play, which was a main feature of red decks. Another feature of red decks was Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt, of course, classic Lightning Bolt, is one of the best burn spells ever. There were 3 boons, or there were 5 boons actually. The best one was blue, Ancestral Recall, because it allowed you to draw 3 cards. Without a shadow of a doubt, is and still is one of the most broken cards in Magic the Gathering, one of the most powerful cards in Magic the Gathering, because there's no time in the game where 3 cards wouldn't help. You can use it to draw 3 cards yourself, you could use it to make your opponent draw 3 cards and deck themselves, you can draw 3 cards in the first part of a turn, in the last part of a game. Anytime Ancestral Recall is useful. The next one was Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual allowed you to add 3 mana to your mana pool, then Giant Growth and Healing Salve, which was useless. Nobody used Healing Salve. Okay, so we're going to give you a slight tour of the deck and what it actually does. Now, heads up, YouTube, you might say that I'm plagiarizing. This is my video. I uploaded it in my other channel, so don't go ahead and copyright strike me for my own video. There we go. So right now, this is the deck. This is the Ball Lightning deck, as you can see. And This is basically me shuffling it. So yeah, my version uses immolation to get rid of Black Knight's orders and all that annoying stuff. It uses Fire Drake for flyers because it's cheaper and faster than a Shivan Dragon, but I will add Shivan Dragons once I do get them later in the year. Later in 2023, it's probably going to be 2023 by the time you guys see this video. Okay, yep, you've got Lightning Bolts. I have mostly a 4th edition Lightning Bolts in the deck. Ball Lightning, which is used to just fuse an attack. And Ankh of Mishra. Okay, because Ankh of Mishra is super useful, especially in old school games where degenerate combo decks can use Fast Bond and Storm Cauldron and just play and play and play and play lands. Ankh of Mishra would punish them for that. It's similar to Eidolon of Great Revel, which you can find in your new modern decks or modern style decks. So another thing about this current deck was it used Brassman as well in the 1-slot combat. Brassman, of course, it would block orders. It would block those Repentant Blacksmiths, those Knights of Thorns, those annoying protection from red creatures. I mean, Brassman was pretty cool, but as you know, here in the Philippines, Brassmen are very, very, very difficult to find now. You have to buy them online at Card Kingdom. And there's my camera. Okay, losing focus again. Yep, those are the Yanks. And Black Vice. Black Vice, so instead of Brassman, since I don't have them, I do have a playset of Black Vices. And in most old school formats, Black Vice is a very, very, very useful card. And it's actually unrestricted in other old school formats, so I can have 4 of them in the deck. A first turn Black Vice, 3 damage. A second turn Ankh is 2 damage for every land he plays, so he has the difficult choice of keeping cards in his hand and taking damage from the Vice, or playing out his land and taking damage from the Ankh. And if I have 2 Ankhs of Mishra in play, ouch. Game over to players who don't manage their life totals. Now, if they do manage to survive the onslaught, their life totals whittled away, I just finish them off with Lightning Bolts, Flying Giant Strength, Fire Drakes, or Ball Lightnings. You choose. Or even a Fireball. Fireball is also in the deck. Or even an Orcish Artillery. Orcish Artilleries are also in the deck, as you can see there. Deal 2 damage to target creature or player and 3 damage to yourself. Not that big of a problem when you're playing a red deck, and not that big of a problem if you're playing against a control deck, which does not do any damage and just decks you at the end of a turn, so this is basically what we have. This is basically what we own. One of the greatest and most amazing decks of all time. Mono Red Burn. Alright. So, how do we build? How much does it cost to build a Mono Red Burn? Not too much. With the right amount of time cards, you can build this deck for less than 50 bucks. If you get them from Card Kingdom, or if you get lucky and find them on mtgmint.com, you basically can actually get the deck right then and there. So I hope you guys enjoyed the premiere episode once again. This is the Sligh Guy TV with the Sligh Guy, Sligh Guy, Sligh Guy. We're signing off right now. Yeah, here we go. It's so frightening when you get damaged by Axe Sligh and the Ball Lightning, and then the Black Vice. Lightning bolt away. Oh hey, I have offended you again. So I guess this is the end, because everybody knows you're such a snowflake and you're just quite upset at every single thing we said. Everybody knows it's all just in your head. Wasted, feeling, going, speaking. You know why you've crossed the line when I said that you were mine. Going skiing, no hard feelings, since you will not be my